Pulse of the people, Ohio State. Pulse of the people, we get a gauge on the fan base heading into the 2024 season. And with Ohio State, no other team in the country has higher expectations this year than the Buckeyes. The Ohio State fans right now, they are like a pack of rabid, ravenous dogs being held back on a leash by Ryan Day, and they are just waiting for him to say the word sick 'em come out of his mouth so that they can go attack, man. They are feisty right now. They're like that Limp Bizkit song, break stuff, break something, whatever. That's all they want to do is just break something. They cannot wait for the season to start, and they just want to rip through the schedule and just tear everyone to shreds. And they have wasted no penny in trying to do that and do so this year. They've lost three times in a row now to their biggest rival, that team up north, Michigan, and they're saying that's it. This is where the bleeding stops. They bring in Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator, fantastic hire. They brought in a top 5 freshman class this year, the 2024 freshman class. They just absolutely Hulk smashed the transfer portal, brought in 3 dudes from Alabama, Caleb Downs, Julian Sayin, who probably won't start this year, but may get some time, and then Seth McLaughlin, their center. They brought in Kunchon Judkins. They brought in Will Howard to be their starting quarterback. They just ripped through the transfer portal, grabbing anyone all the best players all the ones that they can. They returned 16 starters from last year, 11 of which were eligible from the draft. On defense, they returned 9 of the 11 starters with JTT and Jack Sawyer and Denzel Burke and Tyleek Williams, Sonny Styles. Like, the list goes on, man. They are loaded on defense, on a defense that was already elite last year. And then on offense, they bring back Emeka Egbuka, Trey Henderson, Donovan Jackson, and Joff Fryer. For the Hog Mollies up front. So they are stacked on both sides of the ball. And this is a buy-in, and this is an approach that we have seen work in the past. Michigan just did it last year. It worked for Michigan last year. A lot of the veteran guys had come back and say, hey, I'm hungry for a championship. I want to win a championship. Michigan did it. Clemson in 2018 did it. So this is a model and a path that is proven to be successful. When you got veteran dudes coming back, bringing the heart of the team and bringing the whole team together to accomplish this one goal, and that goal being the loftiest of them all, the national championship, man, this is just going to breed excellence. And they have the talent and the coaching staff to be national champs this year. Now, you can say that for most years with this Ohio State team. Like, they're always in the top 5 in recruiting and have all the talent in the world and, are always in the race. But this year in particular, they are going all in. And they kind of start the season much like how Michigan started last year, like how Michigan had 4 just, cupcake games to start the season. Ohio State has that now, that, like, obviously all relative to Ohio State. But they start the season pretty easy. But from there on, like, it gets tough for Ohio State. No longer is it like hey, I have Michigan on my schedule and I have Penn State on my schedule and that's it. We're moving away from that. They draw Iowa, they draw Oregon, Nebraska, and Penn State. All 4 of those teams, 4 games in a row. And the 2 biggest ones, Oregon and Penn State, those are going to be on the road. They do end the season with, obviously, the game, which will be in the shoe this year. So they have a really hard schedule ahead of them. Can Will Howard step up to plate and be that home run hitter that we expect Ohio State quarterbacks to be, like the Justin Fields and the CJ Strouds, who are just slinging the ball and like being the core of that offense? They didn't have that last year with Kyle McCord. Can Will Howard do that? He showed glimpses of it in Kansas State, so we'll see. That's the question that we'll find out in the fall. And if the answer is yes, they will be well on their way for competing for a national title. Now, there's a flip side to all this greatness and all this hype and all this expectation. What if the season is a flop? What if they come out early and they lose a game to Penn State and they lose a game to Oregon? Man, there already is a lot of pressure to start the season. That is just cranking it up to 20, that what they're doing. So, what if they don't win the Big Ten? What if they don't make it to the final 4 teams in the playoff? Lots of questions will be surrounding this program. Questions around Ryan Day, questions from the boosters. And these fans who are rabid, ravenous dogs right now, who are facing outward, being held on a leash by Ryan Day, they will quickly turn around and grin their teeth right back at them and at the owner if things go south here. And like, this is a nightmare scenario, but let's not forget what the stakes are for Ohio State. They have more pressure than any team in the country right now to win a national title. To win a national title, that is rarefied air, but this is like water pressure strong enough to break down a dam of that kind of pressure. But I have faith in Ryan Day and this team and the coaching staff and the talent that they have behind it. I think the buy-in is very real at every level: coaching, administration, players. So they have all of the ingredients. I think they'll be one of the last two teams standing this year. In the net for the national championship. But you know what? We'll have a dozen Saturdays in the fall to figure that out.